don't let us win one. Don't even let us win one. Those are the words of Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown earlier today. It's Tuesday, May 23rd, 11:25 p.m., and I am just buzzing. I am just so giddy, so gleeful that the Boston Celtics are now down 3-1 against the Miami Heat. And if you told me that I would be saying those words even just a week ago, I would have just been at a loss. I would have been stunned, said, there's no way. Well, we live in a reality where that's all we've got. We have to cling on to every little thing we get right now as Celtics fans. And look, we're going to get into the West. We're going to get into LA, Denver advancing. I don't think everybody is quite familiar. It's been a while since I've talked about Jokic and gone on a love fest. Don't forget, he is still one of my favorite non-Celtics. And I would love to play against him in the finals. But before we get into the Jokic love fest and LeBron's doing his BS bait, I'm retiring. Oh, I don't really care if I play with my son. Yeah, BS. Whatever. LeBron, I love him to death. He is the GOAT. The GOAT, okay? But dude, he so obviously is he is gonna be the king of farewell tours. No pun intended on the king part. Before we get into all that, there is one thing to address. The very first bulletin board material is that the Celtics showed out in Miami in Game 4. And like I said, I'm clinging to anything I can get right now, okay? I'm taking anything, any grain, any pinch of happiness, any little tinge of joy you give me, I'm going to take it and I'm going to run a fucking mile with it, okay? Because I need it. Because I can't stand to see this team go out sad. And getting swept is the equivalent of going out sad. And this team, I thought there's no way they have that in them. Like, they're just going to lay down and just mope and bitch on their way to Cancun. Like, I was not ready for the Cancun, and we already got Bahamas memes from Charles Barkley tonight, and thank God that, like, if Tatum doesn't show up and the Celtics don't win tonight, that stupid clip of him saying, does that shirt say Bahamas on it? Like moments before disaster was going to be haunting every Celtics fan for the next, 6 months. But we live to see another day. And I'm not saying anything about the future, about the season, about even the series. Look, this is where we're at. We went in and we did something that hasn't been done in this postseason before, and that's beat Miami on their home floor. That has yet to happen this postseason. Okay? That took a lot of guts. It took a lot of will, a lot of strength. It took a lot of star power. Thank you, Jayson Tatum. Although I was scared to death you weren't going to be able to play. You weren't going to get back in this game because the start of the fourth quarter, I'm just looking at it, it's like 11 minutes, no scoring for the Celtics. 10 minutes, okay, here's a foul here, a foul here. It's like, okay, surely he's got to come in at some point. And it wasn't until this timeout with 9 minutes left that he finally gets to check back in. As soon as he does, mid-range, bang. Finally, they immediately address this halfway bullshit narrative about his fourth quarter scoring. And, I don't know. You know how I feel about Jayson Tatum. I would agree. A little heinous that he did not have any field goal makes in games 1 and 2. And then, they milked it in game 3, but that was a blowout and he didn't play in the fourth quarter. So anyway, we are getting ahead of ourselves here. I am just clinging on to anything I can get. And that game that's going to get me through the next couple of days. It's going to get me through Wednesday. It's going to get me through the work day on Thursday. And we've got a game in Boston. We got a game 5 in Boston. Wow. What can you say, man? What can you say? At this point, we gotta win out. We we got to win out, but we got 2 more games on our home floor. And I know the home court advantage, it hasn't been there. Look, I hope and pray that everybody who gets a chance to be at the Garden on Thursday, and if we're blessed to have a Game 7, that they just go crazy. They lose their voice. They go absolutely nuts. I can't believe it, but this team does deserve it. I mean, they push back. They should poise, and they've been so great all year long. Don't let this stretch, this bad week of ball dictate how you feel about this team, this group that we've had for years. Think back, Marcus Smart, 2012, 2013 draft, Jaylen Brown 2016, Jayson 17. We've had Al with this group. Excuse his little sabbatical he took with OKC and of course Philly. Al comes out the gates tonight, by the way. Just gotta tip of the cap to Al for the great shooting tonight. Brad Stevens has been here as a coach, but now is arguably doing even a better job in the front office. So this group, man, I was truly saddened after Game 3. Truly, it brought a tear to my eye watching that team quit. Watching that team, I was saying absolutely heinous things in my living room, probably throwing stuff, But later that night, just like seriously, like revisiting all the years, all the trips to the playoffs, the trip to the finals last year, and just being like, wow, this is really, I really thought it was going to end in such a sad way, and I did not want to see this team go out that way. I thought they were just too good for that. And tonight they stepped up, and I'm loving, we're still, I haven't gotten a chance to really, dive in totally to everything. And so surely I'll stay up really late tonight uploading this for one, but also watching all the post-game presser stuff. We're getting some good stuff, some good sound bites out of the club. Jaylen went on to confirm, or not, I mean, if you needed confirmation to know that half the shit that the media makes up when a team is really going through it, dude, half the shit's always made up, okay? And he was sure to quiet that. The team was together last night, that I think that speaks volumes. If you follow Dave Portnoy, if you're a Celtics fan, I'm surprised you don't. You probably do. You know that look, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Look, I buy it. The guy lives in Florida. I don't doubt he has connections with business owners in Miami. Supposedly, got the team I guess they rented out a restaurant or whatever, but there was a team meeting, and Dave says he was partially took some credit there, I guess, having the connection. Look, hey, whatever it takes, man. I don't care I don't care what it takes. This team needs to be together. They need to be on it. And I think that all we could hear about Game 3, even from Mazzulla and the rest of the guys, it seemed like the key word was disconnect or disconnected. This team was disconnected out there. They didn't know, they just looked lost, okay? And they didn't look like they trusted one another. And tonight, that was totally different. It was totally different tonight. And this team looked confident. They looked inspired. They were excellent on defense tonight. Excellent. Caleb Martin gets out of the gates hot again. Go figure. I joked on Twitter that if Cody Martin projects to have any type of explosion like this in his future, we should make him an off-season priority. Go seek him out from Charlotte. I kind of think that Caleb Martin's explosion is going to somehow increase Cody Martin's trade value. Just throwing it out there. Also, would be weird to see them on the same team in Miami, at least. Whatever. I can get so easily sidetracked on these late night podcasts. Hey, look, this team showed up tonight, and I'm fucking proud of them because they looked dejected. They looked like they couldn't care less. They couldn't be moved the other night in game 3. They showed up tonight. They showed out. I'm really happy about it. It's one play, one possession, one quarter, one stretch, one run, one game at a time. Man, that's all this team can live on. And, you know, I loved what we saw tonight. Just the energy. I mean, the Caleb Martin point. He comes out of the gates firing. And I sent a tweet. We need to, like, I'm not in the injuries or being, playing, Bush League. I'm not into that shit. But there's something to making a guy think twice about driving to the rim, whether it's a body bump, it's a hard foul, in the spirit of the game, we see hard fouls all the time. That's all I'm saying. But this guy goes to the basket unchecked every time. And it's like, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to foul on certain plays because it's like, it's really easy to get to foul trouble. And we've seen that in these playoffs. Obviously, you're running a shorter rotation. You're running less guys out there. You don't, you got to be careful. You got to pick your spots. But if you got to waste one foul on wrapping a guy up and saying, hey, you're not going to fucking get to the rim on me every time, then do that. All of a sudden in the second half, I see him getting run off of screens. I see him getting, I see guys getting out there, getting good contests up. Okay. There's a difference between running out on a shot and throwing a hand up there like you give a shit and actually getting up in a guy's space and putting a hand where he can't see the basket. That's a good contest. And so often these guys are on Miami are just going unchecked. Gabe Vincent, unchecked. Getting around a screen, bang. Was really in the second half where they locked in that third quarter and they didn't allow it. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take that level of defense, that level of hustle. You can't take any plays off with this team. They will cook you. They will burn you. Okay? They really will. If you let their guys get open, they will make you pay. All right? They just will. They've shown that. They've proven that. This team is, we make the jokes about the undrafted and, some of the TNT guys make it seem like they're fucking Make-A-Wish kids. They are NBA players for a reason. And all of these guys, they're not new. Gabe Vincent's been in this league a couple of years. Caleb Martin's been in this league a few years. Duncan Robinson, although it seems like he's a professional podcaster now, has been in this league for a few years and played in huge games. These are real NBA players. Oh, and don't forget that they have probably the second best guy in the playoffs this year in Jimmy Butler and a top 5 center in this league in Bam Adebayo. So I know it's real easy to look at the Celtics roster and be like, oh my God, look at the talent. But then it's like, okay, Miami's like, they've got 2 true stars. And they got a bunch of guys who, 1, give a shit, but 2, can knock down shots, play hard. Like, acting as though they just got a bunch of guys, just picked up a bunch of guys off the street is heinous. It's ridiculous. It's disrespectful. I know they played pretty poorly all year. Lost almost 2 play-in games. Almost were not even in this playoffs at all. But if they haven't won you over by now, beating Miami, beating a good New York team, fucking sending Boston down 3-0. Like, this team's legit. They went to the finals 2 years ago or 3 years ago. They've been to the East Finals 3 of the last 4 years. This is a real team with the best coach in basketball, may I remind you. Okay? So I think we can start to we can scrap the idea that they're just, I mean, if you want to say Cinderella story, go ahead. But I don't know, dude. It's an NBA. They're NBA guys. Okay. That's just what they are. They're NBA guys. Okay. They're not fucking college guys. They're not G leaguers. So, case in point, the Celtics showed a lot of grit, a lot of poise tonight. I'm really excited that I get to just be a fan for if nothing more, a couple more days. I get to be a fan for another couple of days. The season is not over yet. Every game that the Celtics win, my summer without them becomes a little bit shorter. Think of it like that. Think of it like that. I don't want to see this team get broken up. And if this team goes out in a poor fashion, I mean, they've already remedied it a little bit, but if they were to go out in 4, this team is definitely getting broken up. I couldn't see a way in which Mazzulla wouldn't be fired. And look, after game 3, I was pretty harsh, as was everybody else. I'm kind of glad I didn't do a podcast after that. There's no way it would have been in the least bit positive. No way. No way. No way. Instead, I let my emotions, boil and then kind of calm down and relax a little bit. And I think we can all kind of breathe for a little bit. Al Horford made a great point going into today that this team can play loose. They can play free. If there was ever pressure on you in the series, forget that. Forget that. You haven't earned the right to have pressure on you because it's all in Miami now. And then they asked him about that after the game tonight. And he just laughed and was like, yeah, it's kind of still that way. It's only 3-1. Like, it's not 3-3 now. It's 3-1. So all the pressure is, the balls in Miami's court. I don't think that's really the right phrase for what's happening right now. But the point is, it's so cliche, but you take it one day at a time, one game at a time, man. That's it. That's all we can do as fans and them as players, Mazzulla as the coach. It's one play at a time, man. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. This has been a lot of feels and just like not really game analysis. You want the game analysis? Like, I'm not going to, if you want stats, you can get on ESPN. Look, here's the game analysis. Tatum went fucking ballistic in the second half. There you go. If I didn't already say that, there you go. Brown, I love Jaylen Brown so much, and no matter how dark my thoughts got recently, I'm still the president of the Never Trade Jaylen Brown Club, by the way. Still hold that position. Look, it's only up from here for this guy, right? Right? It's only up from here. And tonight he was good. He impacted the game in ways that weren't scoring. He ended up with 17. Missed a lot of free throws, man. That kind of worries me, but maybe it's just a matter of seeing one go down. They were talking about on the broadcast whether it's the elbow. I don't know. I think it's just a slump. Maybe the mask should go back on. I don't know. He was talking with Anthony Edwards after the game, though, in the tunnel, and he looked really loose. He looked like he was like relaxed and like smiling. And it was like, wow. And I think it's really cool that these other players in the league keep coming to watch the Celtics and that they support these guys. It was actually very reminiscent of when Donovan Mitchell approached Tatum after Game 6 in the Philly series, and it was just, you could see that sigh of relief on Tatum, like, wow, I got the monkey off my back. I turned in a great performance in the fourth quarter, and we're going to have a Game 7. And then, of course, the rest is history. He goes on to have 51. So maybe this is one of those moments, one of those, like, I don't know, just getting the monkey off his back, talking to one of his guys from Atlanta, seeing, another player getting in your ear and just telling you, like, maybe it's just like, just letting you know that you're still that guy, sometimes you just need to hear that, get a boost of confidence. And, hopefully that's what it is. And Jaylen can start to turn it around here. Al Horford, we hit it a little bit, comes out the gates, firing, great shooting night for him. Actually, I think he only made three triples, but that's 3 more than he's been making per game. Okay. And we need Al Horford. We do. I've called him out for a couple of things over the last week, one of which being that I kind of called into question this team's leadership a little bit in a tweet, and I think I said that Al Horford hijacking timeouts is not real leadership. I do still feel that way. Like this was in the midst of like after Mazzulla himself had said that he thought there was a disconnect between him and the guys. Um, that's where I just kind of went off. I was very upset, and I want guys on the court to be talking. I want guys in the huddle to be talking. But when a player who's not performing very well, by the way, it's really hard to take a guy serious when he's not playing well. Just I don't know, takes over an entire huddle and during a timeout and is just like start screaming at guys. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. The coach is there for a reason. Whether he's Phil Jackson or Joe Mazzulla, while he's here, I think he deserves your respect. I think he deserves to be heard. If you have something to say to him, save it. Say it to him. Save it after the game, or at least go about it in the right manner. But I get tired of seeing some of these clips from these timeouts where it's like, and sometimes it's smart, but when I just think it's in poor taste when a player just hijacks a huddle. I just really don't like it. I really don't like it. It's like the coach is right there for a reason. He's watching the game. He's planned for this. He's, while I do think Joe is a little bit, I don't want to say anything negative about this team right now, but Joe at moments has looked a little bit in over his head. He's never really been a head coach anywhere. So, go figure. But he's figuring it out, and this team is good enough for him to kind of buy him time. Now being down 3-0, that's a lofty amount of time. But hey man, I think I'm good talking about the Celtics. I'm happy. You're happy. Maybe you're not happy. Maybe your Heat in 4 plans and your bet just didn't cash. I'm sorry. This probably isn't the place for you, man. It's going to get really rough if this team does like I want them to, takes it one player at a time. We got a game 5 in Boston. If things break right for the Celtics, man, this is not going to be the place for any Heat fans. I'm just getting that out now. You were warned. I need a break. I need to take a quick break, and we'll get into LeBron doing the bullshit I'm retiring thing, and Jokic being in the finals. Other side of the playoff bracket out west, that has quickly been resolved. Thank you to the Denver Nuggets. They take out LA in 4 games. I gotta admit, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see a sweep. And I just still don't feel bad about that because LA, for the most part, was really locked into that series. And, Brian Windhorst goes on the air today on some stupid ESPN midday show. I don't know. I have a job, so I don't, watch ESPN's middle of the day programming. But he says it was insane. The way he put it, it was like, that is the best series that LA or that a team has ever played when they got swept ever. And I got what his sentiment was, but meat riding LeBron and the Lakers again was just like, dude, come on, get a grip. But truthfully, LA was really impressive in certain stretches. But I mean, how great were you if you got swept? Just like Boston tonight. If they got swept, if they didn't turn this around and show up, how impressive was this team to begin with? Okay. Part of that with LA is just the fact that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. Point blank. He just is, man. If everybody's available, if Giannis is fully healthy, let's talk about it. But right now, Nikola Jokic is the best player on the planet right now. Okay, and there's really nothing you can do with him. Anthony Davis, going into that series, was easily, regarded as the best defender that was remaining, or the best defender through the playoffs until that point. And he still is. He's still excellent. Okay, nothing has changed about Anthony Davis. It's just the fact that that's Nikola Jokic. Okay, that is Nikola Jokic. And I think he is deserving of a third MVP. This has been a really rough couple of weeks for Joel Embiid and his supporters. Look, it's a regular season award, yada, yada, yada. Bullshit. I didn't think he deserved it in the regular season. And here we go. It just feels even better now. Okay. Denver is going to the finals for their first time ever. Congratulations, Denver. I almost wasn't going to do the Denver thing tonight, but, they deserve it, man. They deserve it. More people need to be talking about Denver. First trip to the finals ever. Congratulations to you, Denver. This is a really awesome group. It's super fun to root for. Follow them on Instagram, because every night after a win, they post the locker room video where Michael Malone hands out the chains and they break down certain numbers. And it's really, this group is so connected, so locked in. You could only dream that your team is this close, that they're this tight, that they all pull for each other this way. This team really roots for one another. Michael Malone is maybe, one of the 3 best coaches in the sport. Maybe he's 2 behind Spo. I mean, this team is awesome, man. It's so easy. They're so easy to root for. Nikola Jokic is just the epitome of a guy, like a franchise guy you want. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Really, really gives a shit. I just think he's the best player in the world right now. He just is. He's just continued to go up another level every year. And I think that's the thing that gets lost on us sometimes with these guys, is they win their first MVP, or they do something, they go on a really late playoff run, and we're like, man, this is it for them. This is their peak. This is it. No, the guy won 2 MVPs, and he's the best version of himself right now. And who's to say that he doesn't even get even better? There was nothing that LA could do with him this series, no matter what they threw at him. It kind of helped that Jamal Murray has really turned into Bubble Murray. He has his moments where it's like, oh, that doesn't look so good. It was game 2 or game 3 where he had the really slow start and then just turns it on for 25 plus in the fourth quarter. And he's capable of doing that. He's one of the few guys in this league who's capable of doing that. And he's out there in the media calling for the respect, saying he's better than a lot of guys in this league. And hey, I would agree. He's still yet to make an all-star team in his career. He's age 26. A lot of that though is due to health and availability. But right now, he's one of the best shot makers alive in this playoffs, and he is a scary, scary threat. The ability that Denver has to quickly turn to the 2-man game between Jokic and Murray is scary. They can just turn to that when things aren't really clicking, when the role guys aren't making shots, say KCP, Aaron Gordon. At times, Aaron Gordon was left alone on an island. He could have set up a lawn chair and read a fucking book. The Lakers weren't worried about him. When all that stuff goes out the window, the Nuggets have the best 2-man game, the best 2-man pick and roll. Murray, Jokic is the best pick and roll in the game right now. I won't hear it otherwise. Brown and Tatum, if they actually used it more than once a blue moon, would maybe be in the running, but we don't ever see it. So, here's to hoping. But Murray, Jokic is just unstoppable. It's unstoppable. They are the best NBA Jam duo you could dream up right now in the league today. Denver was too much. I'm so fearful of them if I am either team in the East coming out. If Jokic gets his hands on this ring, it's super meaningful. Jokic is approaching year 10 in the NBA. He's 2014 draft. Everybody knows he gets drafted during during the second round. His name gets called during a Taco Bell commercial, on ESPN. But he is past the point of, when we start to question guys, are they winners? Are they going to go get the whole thing? Jokic definitely gets a pass in some of these years because of his team just hasn't been healthy. Just hasn't been. But this is it. This is their moment. They can go and they can grab it. And I think it really establishes him, really solidifies him as one of the all-time great centers in this league. I mean, he's already the greatest passing big man we've ever seen. His scoring ability is up there with some of the best. I think a lot of the triple-double shit for a lot of guys in the league is overrated. And I'm not giving Jokic a pass, but I mean, you feel it though. Like you really feel his impact, his presence all over the game. I've seen Jokic in person probably half a dozen times now, and he is, to me, I think the most impressive guy I've seen. Even in person, he doesn't necessarily jump off of the court at you, but you feel him the entire time. Like, rebound there, crazy outlet pass there. Oh, three-pointer here. He makes a lot of those for a 7-footer. Oh, he's going to just bully his way to the basket, send a second guy, doesn't matter. He's either going to score over the top of both, or he's going to kick it out to the open guy in the corner. 3, bang. Oh, how much is my team down by? Oh, 30? Oh, great. Like, he has his fingerprints all over every single game he's ever played in. And it's an unmatched or unrivaled dominance that we have in this league today. And it's not dominance in the way that Shaq dominated, right? It's not, I'm just going to strictly bulldoze you and impress you with my physicality. Is Jokic capable of doing that? Yes. Did he exert that and show that and demonstrate that in the Lakers series? Yes. But it's also the fact he's a savant of the game, throws passes that maybe only LeBron can throw. He's right there with the best passers to ever play this game. One of the most fun guys to ever watch. He's revolutionizing the way the center position is being played. Truly special. And the defensive flashes that he showed, I'm not going to go dig up 4-game sample size ratings of defensive rating, although they probably would be. I mean, how much time did Jokic spend off the floor? There's really not a lot of good on-off numbers when a guy plays 45 plus minutes. But I'm just telling you, I like what I see from Jokic on the defensive end in these playoffs. And if he does ever get cooked on a play, it's like, do remember that he's shouldering 85% of the offense for them. Everything goes through him. So you got to remember that sometimes with these high usage guys. Like, you got to remember, like, not every play can they go all out on both sides. But this would also be one of the greatest. I don't even want to call it a revenge tour. I'm not saying that like Joel Embiid is not deserving, right? But when you think about this, it's like, how fucking awesome is Jokic? And his team was the 1 seed, and he just been incredible all year. And you have the game where Embiid just sits out against Jokic down the stretch of the season. I don't know. I'm not revisiting the MVP thing. Like, he's got 2 of them. It's history will not frown upon Nikola for not getting the 3rd, and who's to say he doesn't get one next year? But this would be a good FU to like media and Embiid and everybody who doubted him, and just going out and going and grabbing this title. I tell you what, Denver, if they played anybody besides Boston, would be really tough for me to not root for. I've got a pair of Nikola Jokic socks. I've got a t-shirt. Like, I love this dude. He's awesome. I think I have a plush doll of him. He's been one of my favorite non-Celtics since he's come into the league. I just love it. I love watching the guy. He's really special. He's huge and he's funny. He's easy to root for, likable guy. Um, and the NBA needs to really run with this opportunity to make him one of their biggest stars. Market the hell out of this guy, because this is a great segue. There could be a time here sooner than we all anticipate, with maybe the greatest star this game has ever seen leaving the game. And the NBA is going to need to lean on new guys, right? Going to need to lean on a new crowd of NBA stars. LeBron is the GOAT, dude. He's not retiring this offseason. If you think he's retiring this offseason, you don't know LeBron. You don't know his media tactics, his campaigning, his narratives. He is the GOAT of basketball to me, and he's also the GOAT of like creating his own narrative and fueling people that talk about him and keep the focus on him. And it's great for business, I'm sure. LeBron's not retiring after this year. Did you see how fucking awesome he was in Game 7? He was awesome. Okay, he was awesome. Did he pick his spots at certain points in the playoffs? Yes. Was he certainly battling a foot or an ankle? Yes, no doubt. When he saw the LeBron James of foot doctors, at the end of the final 2 weeks of the regular season, dude, he rushed back. And LeBron, once again, credit to him, credit to his makeup, his body, his build, whatever it is. The fact that he could even persevere and push through that is saying something. It's special. It's a testament to who he is and the level of work that he puts into keeping his body in the best shape possible. But he's not retiring. LeBron, for the first time also ever, I didn't think we'd ever see this, admitted that he wasn't the best player in the league. And I'm not like LeBron's really smart. He knows he's not. But I just never thought he would concede like that. He said he was better than 90% of the NBA, maybe even 95. And I was like, I was thinking probably 98%, dude. I don't know. There's maybe 8 guys I'd put ahead. Maybe. I don't know. If we quickly run through it just for fun, end of the podcast type vibes. I guess, it's always easy in the playoffs to just count certain guys out. But at the end of the regular season, I probably would have gone guys ahead of LeBron, probably Curry, KD, Embiid, Jokic, Giannis. You want to put Davis probably ahead of LeBron, but also I can't. I think there's inconsistencies there, and LeBron's offensive game is just so much better. So I'm still putting LeBron as the best Laker, current best active Laker. Tatum and Luka. Yeah, it's a short list of guys who night to night throughout all the entire regular season I would have put ahead of LeBron. But if it's a playoff series and it's a best of 4, there's still not that many guys I'm going to take over LeBron. There's just not. He even tried to silence the narrative that he doesn't want to play with Bronny. Or not saying he doesn't want to play with Bronny, but he was that's my dream. But if it's not his dream, then so be it. I'm not going to sit here and say that's probably not Bronny's life dream. His dream is probably to make it to the NBA at all costs. Hey, if your dad's still in the league, you're going to get drafted, kid. Also, he's a very impressive player in his own right, and I'm excited to see him this fall at USC. I think he's going to turn a lot of heads. I think he's going to make a lot of people question. I think he's going to I really think he has potential to be a lottery pick next year based off of what I've seen other scouts say and just compared just the things I've seen. That kid, if nothing else, can shoot the piss out of the ball, and he can really defend. And guess what, guys in the league, guys who last a long time in the league can nowadays shoot the piss out of the ball and defend at a high level. If you can defend that point guard position, you can shoot the ball. We saw, even if his best case in the first couple of years is what Davion Mitchell gave the Kings, right? Like that's a winning player. That's somebody who is important to a team. That's all Davion Mitchell did in the first round this year against the Warriors was play really hard against guys like Curry and Thompson and go on the other end and make threes when called to. There's a need for guys like that. You're telling me Bronny James can't do that? I think he can do that. And so I think that we're going to see that come to fruition. Yeah, I don't know. Just don't buy too much into the LeBron immediately after, getting eliminated. Don't buy too much into that stuff, man. That's it for me, man. It's almost 12:30. I need to go read some more clueless Celtics tweets. It's gonna be a battle to get this up tonight. But I need to get it up tonight. So I'm gonna post it tonight. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna post it tonight. Post it tonight. Hey, look, man. No stats, really no notes for this one. This was all gut. This was all feel. Finals coming up soon. Lock in. Get ready. How soon? Hopefully not very, because I think the Celtics have a little bit more fight in them. Hey, we've got a game 5 in Boston on Thursday night. And at this point, as a Celtics fan, what more could you ask for? One play at a time. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.